Students, today we are going to learn Political Science third chapter, India's Defense System. In the last chapter we studied India's foreign policy, and now we are going to understand the nature and the study the challenges that India faces. Now, national security. Every nation like India creates a defense system at national level. In international system, the sovereign nations cooperate with each other, but there are also conflicts between them. There are disputes between nations over boundaries, water sharing, not following the terms of international treaties, constantly competing against each other, and influx of refugees from neighboring countries. Whenever such a conflict arises, it is sought to be resolved by compromises and discussions. However, when such efforts do not succeed, a nation may resort to war. A nation attacks another nation and challenges its sovereignty and endangers security. In such a situation, the nation's first duty is to keep the security systems well prepared and ready. This is called as national security. Ways to safeguard national security. National security is more likely to be endangered by neighboring countries. A nation must access the threat to its geographical boundaries and the source of that threat. To keep this threat in check, a nation has to increase its military might. It has to use modern technology to predict the threat, to build weapon systems and modernize and update the defense forces. Some nations try to get the support of another nations to manage the threat to their national security. Now, India's security system. India's security system includes the army, the navy, and the air force that defend the country. The responsibility of protecting the geographical boundaries is of the army. The Navy protects India's coastal line. The Air Force is in charge of protecting India's airspace. The Ministry of Defense controls these three forces. The Indian Army is the world's fourth largest. Its chief is known as the General. The Chief of Navy is known as the Admiral. The Chief of the Air Force is known as the Air Chief Marshal. The President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Defense Force. Defense forces cannot take any decisions about war or peace without the consent of the President who represents the civil power. In a democracy, civil leadership is considered superior to military leadership. The defense force are adequately modernized. For this, some research institutions have been set up in India. Many training institutes have also been set up, such as National Defense Academy NDA at Pune and the National Defense College NDC in Delhi. The paramilitary forces. The Border Security Force, the Coast Guard, the Central Reserve Police Force, the Rapid Action Force are some of the paramilitary forces. Paramilitary forces are neither completely military forces nor completely civil forces. Their main task is to help the defense forces. They are responsible for the security of important locations like railway station, oil depots, water reserves, etc. They play a role in management of disasters. The responsibility of protecting the country's international borders during peacetime also resides with the paramilitary forces. The Border Security Force. It creates a sense of security in the mind of people living in areas near the border, prevent smuggling and patrol the border. The Coast Guard. It was created to protect India's oceanic borders. It protects the fishermen within Indian maritime borders and prevents smuggling along sea routes. The Central Reserve Police Force. It helps the administration in various states to maintain the law and order. The Rapid Action Force. It brings people's lives to normalcy by moving in quickly in incidents of threat to national security such as bomb blasts or riots. The National Cadet Corps that we called as a NCC. It was established to instill discipline among students and to provide military training. Students from schools and colleges can join the NCC. Home Guards. It was established in the pre-independence period to assist in the defense of the country. Any citizen between the ages of 20 to 35 years can join the Home Guards. It maintains public security, supplies milk, water, and other essential services during riots or strikes, regulates traffic, and helps people at the time of natural disasters. Challenges to India's security. Pakistan and China have threatened India's national security. India and Pakistan have a dispute over the Kashmir issue, river water sharing, problem of infiltrations, and over border. India has tried to solve these issues through discussion and negotiations. A war between India and China took place in 1962. China is trying to establish its hegemony over countries in India's neighborhood, but there is a border dispute between India and China. India's security is threatened from within religion, regionalism, several rebellious movements based on ideology, race, ethnicity, and economic inequality are creating instability. The Naxalite movement is a threat to India's international security. Terrorism is the biggest challenge to India's internal security. Now it is a global problem as well. Human security. National security is the security of country as well as the people living within the country. In the post-Cold War period, the concept of national security became broader. It refers to human-centric thinking. It is expected that human beings should be protected from dangers and given the opportunities of education, health, and development. A conducive environment should be created for everyone to live a respectable life by overcoming illiteracy, poverty, superstition, backwardness. Human security includes the protection of the rights of minorities and weaker sections of the society. Challenges to human security. Terrorism is the biggest challenge to human security. Terrorism targets common people. It tries to create fear in the mind of people and make them feel insecure. Pollution and other hazardous changes in the environment have threatened human life. Diseases like AIDS, chikungunya, swine flu, Ebola have presented a big challenge. Protecting human beings from such diseases is also considered as a factor of human security. In this chapter, we have studied India's defense system. We have also tried to understand the change in the concept of security from national security to human security. Here, we have completed this lesson.